Good morning. It is now 9 a.m. and I will call the meeting to order. And would someone like to volunteer to give our invocation? Okay, the first item of order for today is to elect your officers for the board. We will need a nomination and a second for president, and then we can vote. And then a nomination and a second for vice president, then a vote, and then the nomination and second and a vote for the honorary position of secretary and treasurer. So would anyone like to make a nomination for president of the board?
Is everybody's microphones on?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? It carries. All right, is there a nomination for vice president?
I'd like to nominate Cody again.
I second it. Oh, can I do that?
Yes, ma'am, you may. And all in favor, please raise your hand or say aye.
Aye. Aye, aye, aye.
And do we have a nomination for the secretary-treasurer position? It is an honorary position.
I'll nominate Carl.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, and all in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor? Good.
At least I'm here this year when I voted in.
Okay, Mr. Schramm, you nominated second by Thornton, correct?
Yes.
Thank you. And it was an all voted, so carries. So, Mrs. President, do you have any remarks for the meeting? It's okay if you don't.
Well, I don't have any this time.
All right, then I will pass over the meeting to you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, are there any public comments from anyone in the audience? Okay, we'll move on to the general.
City administrator.
Oh, administrative, sorry about that. Don?
Thank you. No, I just want to make mention, please make sure your mics are on and that you are speaking into them, mainly for our live stream audience. We're having issues with all of our meetings with that, so please make sure they're on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Close to them.
Yes.
Is that all? Mr. Administrator, okay. All right, then we go on to the public comments, which I skipped the administrator a while ago, and then now to general. Okay. To review and discuss and consider possible action regarding A, review, discuss, and consider approval of the type A EDC board minutes dated March 20th, 2024. Is it?
Approval of the minutes of the type A EDC board minutes of March 2024 with no changes.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Approved. Okay.
All in favor?
Oh, all in favor? Thank you. For B, review, discuss, and consider and approve of the financial reports for the month ending March 31st, 2024. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning, President, and to all of you. Welcome to your new positions. This is for the month of March that ended on the 31st, and got some good news. For the month, the revenue was more than expected for the month of March. So we got a little over 25,000 at least for the month of March for the revenue streaming. For the expenses, on the other side, been quite conservative in our approach, and very little has been spent for the month of March, as you can see from the numbers. A little over $21,600. With that being said, our target is at 50% since this is the halfway mark, and our revenue is coming in right at 45.2%, whereas our expenditures has come a little over 15%. So you can see very little has been spent on that, very careful spending. As we approach the budget season, there's a lot of things to be considered. The city manager, myself, and Don will be brainstorming a lot of things, probably bring it back to you in the next couple of months. So we kind of want you to kind of be prepared for that. It's exciting. It is a great time because I see a good projection for the next year, and there should not be anything less than expected.
That's great.
For the money market account, another good news, the money market account as of March 31st is $429,572 in comparison to March of last year, $158,691. And kind of let you know that we are really putting the money aside for other things from this to the end of the year, if it be said so from the board, and even to carry on for the next year as well. So all good news all across the board. This is my financial report for March. If there's any questions, I'm free to answer any.
Okay, well, thank you for the good report. Any questions for Charles?
So if we don't spend any money, the revenue that we have coming in is actually going to increase our money market account. Will we be putting additional money in money market account as that comes in?
Absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned that. The projection, hopefully, from now till end of September, and this just estimated amount, it's not actual. If we continue that same trend, we're looking at this to be close to $650,000 at the end of the year.
Wow, okay.
And these are estimated numbers.
Estimated number, good.
Yes.
Okay, good. There are no other questions? Thank you, Charles.
Thank you. Have a good
We
one.
need
You
to-
too.
I'll make a motion, we accept the financial statements for,
Second?
All those in favor? Okay. C, review and discuss and consider approval of Jacob and Martin to start designing Country Road 317 into the industrial park.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Don.
morning.
You know, that County Road 317 is in horrible shape, especially ever since GTI several years back used that big pit over there on County Road 317. And there was an agreement between past city manager and past mayor to where GTI, they had a permit, they were only allowed to use it for a few years. Well, they've gone beyond that. So Mr. Battle and I need to get a meeting together and discuss with them. During that time frame, they were supposed to maintain the road you know, keeping it drivable, which they did, and they supposedly gave the city, I believe it was about $70,000 to help fund repair that road once they were done with that. So we all know that's in horrible shape. And so what I'm coming to you with, and you see these quotes that we got a couple of years back, actually in '21, that we had our engineers kind of do, for what it would take to redo that road. And there's several different quotes there. Some of them go from County Road or Highway 67 all the way to the current cul-de-sac. But what we're looking at now, and I'm kind of coming to you as, is to give me authorization to go ahead and have our engineers design from Highway 67 down 317 to where the future road will come all the way through the industrial park for right now, just to get 317 drivable again, not only for the residents over there, but in the near future have that cul-de-sac go all the way through and connect to 318.
Don, do we actually have an agreement with them where they said they would maintain that in a written agreement?
There was a letter. I don't know if it was an actual agreement. I'd have to go back and look at it. It's been a couple of years since I've seen that documentation. That they were supposed to maintain it during the length of the permit, which was only good for like 3 years, and that was 8 years ago, I believe.
And they're still using it?
Occasionally. They're not driving on it like they were, 20 trucks a day. Now it's 1 or 2 a day. So that's what Mr. Battle and I need to get with GTI and kind of have a discussion with them and kind of go from there.
Okay.
I have a question. Do we need approval from city council to build $1 million road?
Yes. I mean, it will go, yes.
So is that something we would put before them before we pay anybody to design a road, or?
It would, yes, it would have to go before city council unless we have it in our budget. I'll get with our engineers, kind of get an estimate on what it would cost. And if it's in our budget, then we can go ahead and do that with our engineers. But if it's over that budget amount, then yes, it would have to go to council for approval.
I see. Okay.
So some of the scenarios in this, the previous designs include chip seal, and I, for one, who have built quite a number of roads around the Metroplex, I'm never in favor of chip seal when it comes to industrial roads.
Correct.
And I would say, for me, believing that the road that needs to go in would be at least an 8-inch concrete with curb and gutter and wide enough for trucks to get past each other, probably a 32-foot road or something like that.
Right.
So when you go to the engineer, that would be my strong feeling about that.
I would agree with you.
I'll second all of that.
Okay, so basically, you're just asking,
Sorry.
Mr. Bailey?
Yeah, before you make a decision on this, I would like to request to go into executive on our executive item, because that may have some big financial implications on the degree to which you can fund those things.
Yeah.
It may be best to go into executive, discuss that item, and then,
No more clock here. Okay.
It's a brand new clock right up there on the wall. Can you see it?
that's the biggest battery power clock we could find.
9:14?
Yep.
We're going into an executive session. Thank you. We'll return shortly.
Troy.
Oh, yeah.
I asked him what he was doing.
He likes to be involved in everything.
He said, I'm coming to your meeting.
Okay, type A is reconvening from executive session, and we will be
The time, please.
I'm sorry?
The time.
Oh, 9:33. We will be taking action or asking to take action to authorize the city staff to negotiate with Tractor Supplies to use EDC funds for capital improvements.
I'll make a motion to authorize city staff to negotiate with Tractor Supply to use EDC funds to fund capital improvement on.
Second?
All those in favor? Carried.
Awesome.
And then, I'm sorry? Item C. Review and discuss and consider approval of Jacob and Martin's to start designing County Road 317 into the industrial park. And I believe there we're looking for a motion for the designers. Is that correct, Don?
Or we can have more discussion if you want. Talk about it.
Okay. Does anybody else have any other thing to say about that?
I think we
Designing
should
of the road?
approve it and send it on up the line myself.
Do we have an motion for them to continue to negotiate on this?
I'll make a motion to, for the approval of Jacob and Martin to start designing County Road 317 into the industrial park.
With a limit of 100,000.
If you want to put a dollar amount on it, yes, that's fine.
With a limit of $100,000.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor? Sorry. Okay, that's moved. All right, are there any future items to go on the agenda?
We still got D. Dane.
We gotta talk about the,
Okay, this is item D. Review and discuss and consider requests concerning the lease of the Dane property.
Okay,
Aye.
hello again. Mr. Patterson has been leasing that land for his cattle that's basically just pasture land right now for several years, and every year that lease had been renewed. I'm trying to find his email that he had sent me. And originally, EDC had paid for some of the fencing that was in bad shape. He's been trying to maintain the fencing around there for all these years, and on the north side between Lee Products and the pasture, the fence is just so horrible that Lee Products and Mr. Patterson went ahead and replaced that fence. And so what he's asking is he spent, if you see his sales receipt, this was for half of it, and Lee Products paid for the other half of the fence. It was $2,900. And the actual lease is for, where is it? I know it's there. 1,100.
His mowing on it was, his cattle were actually mowing the grass for us, so we didn't have to pay to have a mower go out there, correct?
Well, yes, I mean, that
Okay.
does help. So it helps maintain the grass. So it's $1,180 a year. So that's what he was asking for, is to, instead of him paying the $1,180 this year, can he use that $2,900 he spent as his lease payment to fix the fence?
For the next 2 years or whatever.
And then whatever's left over, right, be carried over to next year.
Do people bid on that property? Are we required to have people bid?
We did that a couple of years ago, and he was the best out of the couple we got. I don't remember all the facts, but I know we did that a couple of years ago.
And this is actually a lot less money from my recollection than what we were spending on mowing.
Correct.
It was, for sure. Less money. So do we need a motion on this? Don?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a motion for us to accept Mr. Patterson's offer?
I make a motion to accept Patterson's offer for lease on the Dane property using funds from his leases coming up, his lease costs, to apply against the money that he has put into the fence for the repair of the fence.
Do I hear a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Did you have changes on that, sir?
Do you have any questions about it?
Yeah, in my experience, anybody that ever leased land, they were in charge of the fences most of the time.
Right, maintaining them.
Maintaining the
Right,
fences.
and the original agreement that he had with previous EDC director was that he would maintain it as long as he could, and then once the fence is just beyond
And-
repair, which it was.
Which, and I understand that it's not leased land really, which
And
I'm
I'm-
comparing it to people that lease land for cows
Right.
for a living.
And I believe he split that with another company there, so that both.
Yeah, he's already
Yeah.
split it, and I understand that, and it's, I don't know exactly how long it is. That's pretty cheap to fix a fence, if that's all.
They
it
did the
was.
work themselves. This was just
Yeah,
for the material.
and so it's just, I have a problem because evidently this guy's been leasing it for a long time,
Yeah.
and what else are we gonna do with it? Well, I don't know that we are.
Are you withdrawing your second?
No,
Okay.
I'm still seconding it. I'm voicing my
Well, I wanted to
opinion
make
that
sure.
generally, land leases aren't where the people leasing the land take care of the fences. If that's what we're doing is leasing land, usually that includes taking care of the fences. I've got a hunting lease that we got a guy running cows on.
We
Don?
can discuss the terms of the lease when it comes up again next January.
That would help.
I agree.
A quick question, Don, do you happen to know exactly how much it was costing us to mow it?
No, I don't have those figures.
Okay. I remember correctly from back in some of those meetings, it was quite a bit.
Yes.
The money coming in is better than money going out.
Money going
Yeah,
out.
right,
Yeah.
right. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any other questions?
Vote.
Okay, all those in favor?
Thank you.
Okay. Now, are there any requests for future items?
We need to put somebody in as another member here.
Yes, we do. Do we have any other applicants for type A board?
Is there any action we could take on that, or
Not today.
Not today. Yeah,
we can put it on next month?
Okay.
Right.
Put it on the agenda for next month. Mr. Bud Finley is applying for the type A board.
And
Okay.
this was published like everything else has been published.
Yeah. Okay.
We've had it
Good
on
to-
our website for a while, at all boards.
Thank you, Bud, for offering.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know if it would matter to do it here or not, but I would like to see B and A board maybe get together, if we could do a workshop together and talk about some future things that may need to happen or not,
Yes, I would like,
if that could happen.
We can look into that and maybe possibly have our, Mr. Chesser here, the attorney, and kind of maybe explain what kind of projects.
Yeah.
Have a little workshop. We can look into that.
Right.
Would we do that at our next series of meetings? Because B board typically meets one day before we meet, so we could probably do a joint meeting.
We'll look into that and come back to you kind of with some options, hopefully before the next month's meeting.
Okay.
and I would like to us also at that meeting with the B board is that we try to come up with some idea about how we can help the police department find a location so that the firemen, with us growing and so many people coming in now, the firemen, there's more firemen, that they need more room. And I actually have been to the police station, and you walk back in that room, there's a folding table that they're using to eat their lunch on. That's unacceptable for our
I thought
first
they just ate
responders.
donuts.
I'm sorry? I'm sorry, I didn't hear
I
you.
thought they
Don.
just ate donuts.
Well,
Ate lunch.
Better be
no,
glad the
they can eat the
police chief left.
donut. Different, but no, but
Chief
I
God,
really
he's
would
at
like
the
to
donut
see
shop.
both of them have a more personal locations so that they have room for all of their first responders. But I would like for that to be brought up with the B-Board if we can all work on that together. And I know y'all were gonna try to get me some information about whether that could be done. We now know that it can, if everybody agrees on it. I would like that to be on that workshop. Okay, are there anything else to go on the agenda? Okay, I guess we are adjourned at 9:43.
Thank you all.
Thank you.